Everyone, welcome back to the Unscripted Chapters podcast with your hosts,
Jordan, Claire.
And I'm Cassidy, and we're super excited to have you back today. How's everyone feeling?
Good. Very good.
Yeah. Snow on the ground, but it's beautiful outside, so I'll take it.
Yeah. We've mentioned Nebraska weather before. I don't know about you, but I heard that we were only supposed to get a dusting, and I think we ended up with more than 6 inches.
You should know better than that. It's Nebraska.
Okay, but then they say we're going to get 10, and we get
nothing.
Exactly my
it's
point.
Always opposite.
I was like, exactly my point.
The one time I actually take the word of our weather people, and it's...
Yeah, we've had false spring. Last week it was 70 degrees, and then by the end of the week we had snow. So
2 days later we had 7 inches of snow. But I will take a beautiful sunny day.
Yeah.
With snow on the ground any day.
Yeah. It's actually pretty decent.
It's pretty nice out. It's not below freezing, so that's good.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Awesome. What do we got going on today, Claire?
We got a lot to unpack, but we're going to do a little bit of our own segments, and then we did a segment swap, so we each challenged each other to watch a documentary in our particular segment, and we'll get into that. But first, we wanted to let you guys know that we did switch our book. So last time when we drew a book, Jordan didn't know anything about it, which was fine. But then once we actually got into reading about it,
I had read over our book club weekend. I had actually started reading it, and I read the triggers. And I've read a lot of dark romance, but I know you guys are fairly new to it.
Yep.
And the triggers I was reading, I was like, that's kind of on the dark side, especially for people who haven't read dark romance as much. So I was like, we can switch it. So
And I think we wanted everyone to be comfortable reading with us.
Yeah.
We didn't want you guys to feel like you had to.
Yeah.
So.
And I like to read dark stuff too, but there was a couple triggers in there that I was like, that probably would bother me.
Yeah.
So what we did, since it was actually during our book club weekend, is we had our other 3 book girls. We each gave them, I think, 1 or 2 selections.
2.
And then they dwindled it down. And so they chose for us If You Stayed by Brittany Cherry. It is also on Kindle Unlimited. So we will be covering that then on April 15th instead, to give you guys a little bit more time to read that. And then
since we switched
Hand up, sorry. Our bad.
Yeah.
So we apologize, but if you want to read The Heartless Beloved, go for it and let us know what you think. But otherwise, we're going to be doing, like I said, If You Stayed by Brittany Cherry on April 15th.
I'm excited for that, actually.
Me too.
That book, it looks really good.
Yeah.
So,
Beautiful cover. So
yeah, that too.
yeah. Jordan, you want to give us a start off here?
Yes. So my segment from the bleachers, all about sports. Just some updates. So actually this weekend is the first F1 race of the season in Australia. March, it starts, I guess depending on where you are in the world, it starts March 5th or 6th. I actually have the schedule. I took a screenshot of the schedule so I could tell you. So for an F1 race weekend, it starts, they have 3 practices, qualifying, and the race. So practice 1 and 2 are on March 5th. When I say times, I'm going to say they're all Central Time because that's the time zone we live in. So I'm saying it as Central Time. So practice 1 they're an hour, so 7:30 to 8:30 at night. Practice 2 is 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. Practice 3 is 7:30 to 8:30. Qualifying is 11 to 12. Those are both on March 6th. And then the race is at 10 p.m. on March 7th.
Dang.
So first race of the weekend. Very excited. We just kind of got the results from preseason testing. And I'm not going to say anything because I'll get to it in a minute. But very excited for this year. Hopefully it goes way better than last year, but we'll see. So that's really all I have for F1 first race, Australia. Baseball opening day. It's officially baseball season. The minute that clock wound down on the Super Bowl, it was baseball season. So excited. So this year, I think they're doing something a little different. So opening day is Wednesday, March 25th. But there's only one game. It's at 7:05 and it's premiering on Netflix. And it's the Yankees versus the San Francisco Giants.
Oh, Netflix.
Yes.
Wow.
So they've never done this before. So they are going to do, so that's the only game being played on the 25th. The other games, the next on the 26th, official opening day I don't know if all of the teams are playing, but the majority of them do. So currently we're in spring training. Very excited. Hopefully, again, also hope that it's better this year than last year because neither of my teams won. So that's all I have for baseball. Also, right now, I have something, but we'll do it at the end of my segment. NFL. Seattle Seahawks are the Super Bowl champion. It wasn't the Patriots. I'm okay. It wasn't the Bears.
okay.
Sorry, Dylan. Bears lost, and I'm happy about that because they beat the Packers. So
I concur.
that's all I have for football. Don't have to talk about that for a while.
She's so over it.
I am over it. Oh, I know what something I forgot was. I'll do it on here. So March Madness will begin. Selections show is on March 15th. We are going to be doing March Madness brackets. So I will more than likely, I can give updates through TikTok. We can do it on Instagram, just kind of how everybody, the three of us, how our rounds are going. And we can maybe make like a TikTok that says like who we have to pick the whole thing and whatnot. So that's what's going on with college basketball. Winter Olympics. Those are now done. But what have you guys watched any? What was your favorites to watch?
I honestly didn't like forget. It's just the timing was always really bad for me to go watch them.
Yeah.
But I was watching, is it bobsled? They get the little thing.
Yeah.
So it's a double bobsled.
Yeah.
That was actually really entertaining.
Bobsled, where it's like it looks like a little
chute.
car, or the one where they're like laying down.
Not the laying down.
Okay, that's
One where
because that's
they
luge.
run, and then
Yeah.
they get
Yes,
it.
that's bobsled.
Yeah, bobsled. So that one was actually kind of cool to watch because I was like, dang, like by the millisecond.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
like-
Oh, it's you like just a
Just a
little
little-
bit.
uh-huh.
Did you see the Americans totally wipe out?
I saw the video.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so they had the 4-person, and it was really freaking funny on
only
TikTok.
one person got into the actual bobsled.
So the first person goes and jumps all the way into the chute
Yeah.
because they're the drivers,
Yep.
right? And then the next person. The next person like went over the front of the car. The other person went sideways. The other person didn't make it. And so they're just like all scrambling, like laying in the middle of the ice chute. And the other person, like, all you see is like little goggles. And he's just going down by himself. And they put the funniest music to it on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this poor guy, he's like, shit, because the brakes are in the back.
Oh no!
So he's the the people in the back, they run the brakes.
I did not know
That's
that.
crazy.
It's funny
Oh, shoot.
you see him realize like just these goggles, and I'm like, oh no, he's probably just crapping his pants right now. But yeah, you have to find it on TikTok.
I'm gonna have
It's,
to watch
yeah.
that. That's
it's
hilarious.
the music they put to it. Better.
So my mom, actually a gold medal Olympian is from Nebraska, Kurt
Yes.
Tomasevich. My mom actually met him.
Yep.
She got to hold an Olympic gold medal. Like that's
He's
just
from
cool to me.
Shelby, Nebraska.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
so.
Shelby.
I don't,
That's
yeah.
like-
There's a sign for him because
Yeah,
we
it
drive
says home of it says
on
home
92.
of the
Yep.
Olympic. Yes, it's really cool. And
and the sport he does is like not a Nebraska sport.
it's bobsled.
Yeah.
He's a bobsledder.
Yeah, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
We do not
No.
do that here. If we do, I haven't seen it.
So I do know for Olympics there is a men's hockey player, Jake Ginsel. He played for the University of Omaha
I didn't know that.
Mavericks. Yep. UNO. He scored it. He scored a goal. I know that.
Oh, that's cool.
It's the one I've missed so far.
Of course.
He almost scored in the game to go to the gold medal match, but he like kicked it in. And like normally you can like direct it with your foot, but he was visibly like kicking it in. And they're like, yeah, no, you don't get that. That's not a goal because he kicked it in. So but yeah, so what are your favorites to watch, or what have you watched?
We've watched a lot of the snowboarding, which I absolutely
I
love.
love
Like
watching
the
snowboarding.
the air one, the tricks.
Mhm.
I haven't gotten to see the half pipe. Last night we were watching the ski half pipe. I don't know the particular names. And a guy was up doing his flips, and when they start to turn before they get to the lip of the half
Mhm.
pipe, he screwed up
Mhm.
and his skis got crossed while he was up doing his flip, and he landed on the top of the half pipe.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy for sure is not okay. But he got up and he walked away. Like
That's
they had
good.
the medics and stuff out there. But I like that. Cross country skiing is kind of boring.
I applaud them though. Like
my
the
gosh,
training
yeah.
they have to do that because you're doing it on a
Oh my
on
gosh.
skis. Like good for you. I
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
No way.
So
No.
good for you.
No. Love the figure
I
skating
was gonna
and
say
hockey.
figure skate. Yeah, figure skating.
Yeah. My favorite, my one I've watched the most is hockey. As we're filming this, the women won gold. Men tomorrow play for the gold medal match against Canada, which is 46 years to the day because it'll be February 22nd. It tells you when we're filming. February 22nd is 46 years to the day that the 1980 Miracle team
Yeah.
beat the
insane.
Soviet Union. So that's kind of cool that they get to play for a gold medal match against Canada. So let's hope they win. But that's kind of
USA.
cool. That's kind of cool that they get to do that on like go for the first gold medal since 1980. They have not
Yeah.
won gold since 1980 in hockey. I've watched a lot of figure skating. I think Madison and Evan should appeal, but they're not going to appeal their medal, but it's fine.
What happened with
I
them?
missed that.
Well, so the French one in they're the rhythm dancing.
I heard
The
there
French
was
one,
some-
yes, they think the French judge was
Partial.
partial to the French team, but they have come out that they are not going to because they won silver, and obviously French won gold, and so they said they aren't going to come out and appeal it, which that's okay. Well, they still
Yeah, I heard that. Like the math wasn't mathing or something. It was
yeah
very, like,
they
it was weird.
yeah it was weird, but you know
Well, we'll
Mhm.
never know.
never know,
That's a
but-
goal of mine since the next two Olympics, summer and winter, will both be in the U.S. That's my goal of mine is to go to both of them.
That's dope.
Winter won't be till 2034. 2030 is France.
Oh, okay. I thought they were like
Well, you got
next
time to
two
plan
and then
it.
two
no,
more.
no. So 2028 Summer Olympics are in LA.
LA.
2030
Winter.
Winter Olympics are in France or somewhere in
Oh,
France.
that's
I
right, that's
believe.
right.
And then I don't know where the next Summer Olympics are.
Okay.
And then 2034 Salt Lake City hosts the
So within the next,
US. They host the Winter Olympics,
which
again,
they
so.
had in 2002. And I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast before, but if not, I'm going to say it again. So when I was in fourth grade, my grandpa was leaving for my birthday. He used to drive for Aero Stage Lines, the tour
I think
buses.
yeah.
And
We talked about this.
he was taking reporters to the Olympics
yeah.
in Salt Lake
Yes.
and brought the buses that had been wrapped
Uh-huh.
in like the downhill skiers, and I still have that picture, and it is like one of my most prized possessions.
That's
It's
really cool.
He brought them to school, and everybody got to get on the buses, and
That's so cool.
That's really
so
cool.
that's when my love for the Olympics started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just like watching it. It's
Mhm.
it's just fun.
I think so if you had to pick summer or winter, what's your guys' favorites?
I prefer summer. I
Okay.
feel like I watch more during this. I do. I mean, I love
Really?
hockey, but I feel like I watch more during the Summer Olympics. I love watching gymnastics, and I've started, especially after the 2024 Olympics, like Steven Netterostik's the pommel horse guy.
Mhm.
I've watched men a lot, and I love watching the swimming events.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love watching swimming.
They're very equal. I feel like they both have like their top like 4 or 5 from
Mhm.
each.
Yes.
So I don't know if I could pick one because you think of like because I forgot about gymnastics, even though I love watching.
Mhm.
And
Uh-huh.
sand
Volleyball,
volleyball.
and
Yeah.
sand and regular volleyball,
Basketball,
Basketball.
skateboarding, which I know is like, but to me,
break dancing.
you both just looked at me like,
We're like, of course she said that.
Well,
yeah,
and
dancing from last
There's a
time.
new
dude,
one for
that's
the
funny.
summer. It will be flag football.
That's
Oh.
cool.
Flag football is a new one.
I could see that over breakdancing.
I don't know.
That lady
Oh,
was
another
great.
another baseball update is the
Where's she
World
from?
Baseball Classic. Sorry,
You're good.
the World Baseball
She's-
Classic. I don't know when that ends. I know it happens during spring training. I don't know exact dates though,
Mhm.
but that's just so like Aaron Judge is playing for USA, but there's some players that play for like other countries,
Yep.
which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it happens like different places in the world, which is it's really fun. So
Nice.
but, guys, tell me about your new sport you watched.
So we actually did this together
On accident.
on accident. Was it Easter Sunday?
No.
Oh no!
No.
Claire, it's March.
It was when we were celebrating Christmas, January,
Yes.
early mid-January. We were
Early
just
January.
sitting here and like
The boys like to flip through the TV, so we
see what sports and whatever's on, and we just happened to come across a sport that I have seen, that I have played myself, but I've never seen it on TV.
yeah.
And these people were sweating.
Yeah.
They had towels and they were just in it.
They
And
were in
Cass
it.
and I looked at each other and were like, this is our new sport. So go ahead, Cass, let them know what we watched.
Was
This
it
is
darts?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was darts. Like it literally, and you know what was really freaking funny? It was literally the world championship game was the one we were watching.
Yeah.
Like it was the 2026 world championship for darts.
There was people in the crowd cheering people
Going-
throwing darts at a board.
Freaking insane. And what was really funny, so Claire's right, like they were sweating, it was super intense. You could-
bowling.
but it was funny. Professional darters,
Yeah.
dart players,
Darters? I don't know what they're...
darters.
Professional darter.
We'll have to figure that
Well,
out.
yeah, we'll figure that out. Literally, obviously, with the hand they have the most giant, expensive, like Rolex watches because that's all that's on TV is just literally
Uh-huh.
this, and then they have the giant watches. It was the funniest thing, and honestly, I wish we would have reminded ourselves because it was like you had rounds that added to like a small tally, and then you needed as many of those to get a big tally. And I don't remember like the
Oh,
like the
pointing and stuff.
wording.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
so-
had words for it.
yes, but we figured it out.
It was like
it's pretty-
rounds or something, but like,
Yeah, it was something different though.
but because they were counting.
Yes.
So, it was like up to a certain number, and then it would like,
So yeah, you start at like 501 or something. It's like a normal dart.
Yeah.
Like I've played that before. It's super fun. So you would do that, and that would be a round, and whoever got there first would win a baby point, and you had to do so many of those baby points to get a big point, and then you needed so many big points to win.
so many rounds.
like-
Oh gosh, it was crazy. It was a
It was-
lot.
Jordan's like, "That's your new sport," and we're like,
Mhm.
"Yes." Because I
Next
would've-
time I'm gonna be more specific.
You know what? It was a world championship.
it was.
And
pretty
the
cool.
guy cried.
He cried.
He was so excited for
Yeah.
himself.
And the crowd was going wild. It was crazy. It
I was
was
like-
it was way
I
more
was like,
hype.
this is like people like equivalent to like watching bowling.
Do you know how popular bowling is, though?
I love bowling and I
Yes,
love it
I used to be
myself.
on the
But
bowling
going,
team.
But that's what I'm saying. It was.
I was
It
on a bowling
like,
team too. But like
Yeah.
going to a bowling tournament, no, I'm not
or
gonna.
like a
Unless
national bowling championship.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
It probably like you wouldn't choose to do it, but if it was on TV, yeah, it was just so fun to watch.
Anyway, so that was our new sport, y'all. Is darts.
They watch something else. So I'll give them that.
Mission accomplished.
To be fair, we're actually very into it.
Yes, we watched it for quite a while.
Yes,
At least you watched it and you didn't just be like, okay, well, we watched a little bit of it and moved on.
We
You at
actually
least
finished
watched
it.
We
Yeah.
finished
I'm glad
what
you
was
did that.
left.
we finished what was left, and we were actually
Next time I
really
will be
into-
more specific, though.
Fine.
And then we were literally
Fine.
like, Claire and I were like, Jordan's literally gonna think that we're so stupid that this
Yeah.
is what we picked. I'm like, to be fair, this is just what was on, so we were together,
worked.
so it worked out. So
Second question.
No.
Ah.
I do have an answer. Ready?
Oh dear God!
Ready?
I'm. If
Cass's
you
hockey
see, if
team?
you say USA, I'm gonna say no. It has to be from the NHL.
The USA.
Okay, so now that's the next time we talk
Yes.
about segments. You have to have a team
Okay.
picked.
I don't know how many times I talk about this. You guys have heard me say this. Someone's got to freaking text me. I need a reminder.
Well, they're currently because the Olympics are still going on. Obviously, as we're filming this, they're on break right now because
know.
all of them are
At the
in
Olympics.
Playing the Olympics.
So the NHL is currently on break. So once they come back, I will text you,
Okay.
and you
We
can
need-
pick a new team.
I need like a game or two to maybe watch or put on in the background too. So like if you see something on, even if it's not a team you like, because I just need to get an idea of
Yeah,
who and what and where and,
and
why.
you can just look up NHL teams, and it will list all
Give you a roster and
however many.
But maybe I'll watch a game and be like, ooh, no,
yeah.
because I know everything about hockey. So.
All right. Well, I
The
have
boy
a
aquarium.
Yes, the boy aquarium. Boy aquarium. Rodeos
Did
are
you
boy
see-
zoos.
I think I sent you guys a TikTok about the boy aquarium, and it says how to feed the fish in the boy aquarium, and it's just throwing hockey pucks down.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
that's so
true.
great.
All right. I have a new challenge for both of you, and I'm specific on this.
Oh,
Dang it.
So before we talk about my segment the next time, you have to watch an F1 race, have an F1 team, and an F1 driver.
I need this in writing.
I will text you.
text after the group.
F1 race. I don't
Or
care
text
what
the group,
race
please.
you if I would say to do one where you can watch the entire weekend. So maybe this upcoming one with Australia being at night, because some of them are like 6 a.m. Like I mean if you get up early that might be easier. But that's over the weekend, so most of them are over the weekends.
Yeah.
And then I want you to pick a team and a driver.
Okay.
There are 11 teams now. Cadillac is our new team this year. That'll be very interesting. We now have 22 drivers on the grid. Don't ask me to name them because I don't remember all of them.
That's
There's
fair.
new
Pop
ones.
quiz, go.
And then I have one final challenge. It's a little bit easier.
Okay.
Well, easier.
I have a lot of homework today.
Well, this one we can do right here.
Let me get my
This
steno.
one we're doing right here. So I wanted, before baseball season starts, I wanted all of us to pick our World Series who will be in the games and who will win.
Okay.
So I'm going to read you the American League because you need to pick an American League and a National League. So
Okay.
I'm going to read you the teams from the American League and we can each pick.
Okay.
And then I will read you National League and we will each pick. So
Okay.
American League. I'm just they are by division, but
Don't
whatever.
matter.
We can just pick one. So American League is Baltimore Orioles, Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, Toronto Blue Jays, Tampa Bay Rays. I kept wanting to say Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's football. Chicago White Sox, Cleveland Guardians, Detroit Tigers, Kansas City Royals, Minnesota Twins, Los Angeles Angels, the Athletics, because they are moving eventually, so we'll just call them the Athletics or the A's, Seattle Mariners, Texas Rangers, and the Houston Astros.
What happened to the St. Louis Cardinals?
They were in there.
Oh, you
They're-
said them. Sorry.
No, they're NL.
Oh, okay.
This is just American League.
Oh.
They're in the National League. It's
Sure.
two leagues. So,
Yep, exactly.
so I
know there
mean,
was two
I'm
leagues.
gonna let you guys pick first.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Boston team just to stick with my my theme here.
I knew she was gonna hate that.
That
That was like the one I was like, I can't.
Is that the Boston Red Sox?
Yeah.
Wait, so are we picking two from the American League?
Nope. You only
One from
pick
each?
one.
Okay.
I'll go with the Boston Red Sox since that sticks with my Boston Bruins hockey team.
Yep.
Yankees.
I'm also going with Cass for the Yankees.
Whatever.
I don't really have a choice, so actually that's a lie, but that's who
I
know.
haven't picked the Yankees before, but I'm
gotta put it in
hoping
there.
because
Actually,
you want to switch?
Yankees?
mm-mm. Baltimore Orioles.
You want to go?
Yes,
Interesting.
Interesting.
I love the Oriole bird.
Oreos.
Did you know if you flip the bird upside down, it looks the bird again?
Oh,
Yeah. If you ever look at it and you flip it, it like still looks like a bird.
that's awesome.
Okay.
Orioles, please.
So now I'm going to do the National League.
Okay.
Those teams are the Atlanta Braves, Washington Nationals, New York Mets, Philadelphia Phillies, Miami Marlins, the Milwaukee Brewers, Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds, Pittsburgh Pirates, St. Louis Cardinals, Los Angeles Dodgers, San Diego Padres, San Francisco Giants, Colorado Rockies, and Arizona Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks.
Doing Diamondbacks.
I'll go Cardinals. Reppin'.
Ripping for my Arizona family.
Okay, I'm doing something that I know is going to come back to bite me in the butt.
Ooh.
I am picking the Brewers.
I
I have a
shocker.
team on each. So now I want you, who between those do you think would win?
The Diamondbacks.
You think the Diamondbacks,
Yeah.
okay? Cass, Yankees or Cardinals?
Yankees.
Aha.
I know. See, this was going to bite me.
I
but
knew you were gonna pick the Brewers.
Yeah.
I think they're angry this year. And the reason
That's
I say
good.
that was because they kind of got beat up they were the best team in baseball last year by the end of it. They had the best record. I'm talking about the Brewers. I don't know if I said that. I was like, and they played 5 games against the Cubs. They ended up winning, which was nice. But they didn't do well against the Dodgers. And now this year, they, like everyone says, they're going to be like an 80-win team, which is not very good, even though you play 162 games. Like 80 would be great.
No,
It's not.
It's like 50-50.
And so I think they're angry because like baseball players are like the team members have been like, we're not going to listen to that. Like,
Right.
we're just going to come out and play the game. So I think they're angry, and I think the Yankees are angry because they've kind of been, I don't want to say embarrassed, but they haven't been good the last,
Right.
in the playoffs the last 2 seasons. They won 1 game against the Dodgers in the World Series, and last year was just not good against the Toronto Blue Jays. So
Yeah.
it's really hard.
You got it. You know what your gut's saying.
Yeah, you do.
Well, see, and my gut is kind of telling me the Yankees again, but I think I'm gonna stick with the Brewers this year. I picked the Yankees last year. I think I'm gonna pick the Brewers. So
There you go.
We'll see. I'll keep updates with sports stuff on TikTok. I'll start doing like weekly or every other week updates. But so yes, Cass, you have to pick a hockey team.
It's been on the list for a while.
And their season's almost over, so you really need to pick one.
Did we talk about this before their season started?
Yeah, we did.
We did. She said it's
Or
almost coming.
it had just started. Like, yeah, it was like just about to start. And then you both have to watch an F1 race and pick a team and a driver.
Okay.
It does not have to be from, like, you don't be like, oh, I really like McLaren, but I like this driver from Mercedes.
That's fine.
You don't have to pick from
A driver from the same team.
From the same team,
Okay.
correct.
That's fair.
If you want to, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, my driver and my team are the same, but
Makes sense.
you don't have to do that. So
Cool.
I think that's all I have for sports.
Nice. There was a lot going on.
That's a
though.
good update.
A lot.
Yeah, that was a good update.
A lot. So yeah. Claire.
Well, sound check. 1, 2. Sound check. 1, 2. The first thing I have on here. Do we talk about it or do we breeze over it?
I think we should talk about
I think
it.
we should talk about it.
Okay. So we said that we were all going to go to a concert together. Rascal Flatts. All right. This was Jordan's how many time seeing them? 4, 5?
5 or 6, maybe
Okay.
7.
My second time. Cass's first time.
My first time.
I saw them the first time 12 years ago. Phenomenal. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. And especially now since we've gone and we all kind of had like the same review on it a little bit. I've seen a lot more things on TikTok and Instagram about other people like, what the heck was wrong with Gary? Like something going on.
So-
What? I have not seen a conclusion, but I now know that it wasn't just us.
Yeah,
Correct.
I agree.
And I don't think. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but that's because I felt like, and like I kept saying this, like I felt like a kid again. Like it had been 20, like I was 3 the first time I went and saw them.
Right.
And so I was like, if I felt like a kid again. Yes, he harmonized a lot that was unnecessary. And I think,
And I don't think his harmonies were on.
no,
He was
and
very
I think
pitchy.
I don't know if it's because he's trying to keep up with like the younger crowd.
Sure.
Because I saw a TikTok video where he had like they literally, I don't know if they have friends here in Nebraska, but they like literally walked into like a Nebraska bar
Yeah, I saw that.
and he did the same thing.
Yes, I saw
So
that.
I was just like, I think it's just he's just thinking he needs to do that, and I think your songs are great the way you are. And
Yeah.
I know artists do that when they're live, just
But
to
they're
like, add
great.
something. But I'm just like, you didn't. need
They're
to do
great at
that.
harmonizing. That's what they're known for.
Yeah.
Stick to it. And like honestly, it wasn't a horrible concert. Like,
No.
I didn't walk out, and I've walked out of a concert before. It just was a lot of extra. And
Yeah.
he was a little pitchy at times, and that was hard to follow.
It was my first time going. So as we were all walking back to our hotel, me and my mom got kind of trailed back because we got short legs, so we were in the back. And I was wondering, I was like, what was your honest opinion? Because like I felt like her and my aunt Jordan's mom were having a great time, but you know, there was other things going on.
There were other things flowing.
You know, exactly. So I was like, what was your honest opinion? Because I felt like, I'm like, okay, if this is how they were every other time. So I was like, I feel bad if I go to say something and then, you know, Jordan and Claire have seen them multiple times. They're like, what? Like, but then when we got back to the hotel, as we all
Debrief.
started talking, everyone felt the exact same way. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay. And I agree with Claire. I'm like, do what you've done
Do what works.
because that is why people like you.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole trying to keep it could be what Jordan said, trying to keep up with the times and all
Yeah.
that crap. No one cares because honestly, I've
That's
seen
what
a lot
you're
of
known
TikToks
for.
too. Exactly. You're literally known for your music and how you sing it and the way you've done it all these times. So
Yeah.
He was all over the stage.
Oh,
The last time I saw them, they literally didn't sit, but like they literally just stood there and did their stuff. And I'm like, there are bands where that is okay.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't go to a Sheryl Crow concert and expect her to be up and down and all around. Stand there and play your guitar and do
Yep.
your songs. Rascal Flatts, I expect you to do the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like Tate McRae, people go
Yes.
because she dances. Like she's good.
She
at
puts on a
dancing. She
show.
puts
Yeah.
on
Right.
a show. There's
There
like
are-
that's part of it. Yeah.
This isn't Katy Perry. Like
No.
this is
yeah.
They
I
don't
wanna-
need the
and the music
pomp and
was still
circumstance,
great
yeah.
because I love their songs and their
Mhm.
songs have a really
Yes.
soft place in my heart. A lot of them, you know, good meanings and things like
Mhm.
that. So
yes.
that part was still great to just hear them live, but just too much extra and according to the internet, we weren't the only ones who
Yes.
thought so. So,
And
yeah.
I totally agree. I was really, really excited. They've actually been on my list of like, I would go see them if they came out.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
when that got brought up, I was very excited. And I'm like, I don't think I'd go see him again. And
Yeah.
that's really sad to
Oh.
me. Like,
Yeah. See, I mean, I'd go see him again, but that's just because they're one I've
Yeah.
been watching.
I would-
I've been to their concert since I was 3, so like that's just like, oh,
Yeah.
I
It
wouldn't,
would
though.
take a lot for me to go.
I probably wouldn't. And I've listened to their music my whole life too. And I was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
But
On to other things. I flew to Vegas again. Shocker.
what?
she should just get a second home.
She's
there at
just
this
gonna
point.
live there.
You know. And I didn't go to the Backstreet Boys.
Wow.
Tried to fit it in, but it didn't work.
Tried to fit it
And
in.
as of now, their residency is over, but they extended for 6 more dates in July, so there's another chance I could be going.
Jeez.
Anyway,
Is she gonna take us this time?
I don't know. Chris is like, I'm over it. Get me out of here. It's like,
and Chris hasn't even gone.
I know exactly.
Chris is like, I don't want to hear about it
He
anymore.
hasn't even gone.
He's,
He's like,
he's
no.
like, you can go, just don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
Just don't tell me about it. I've already heard it twice.
So I went with 2 girlfriends and Chris. Chris did not go to the concert, but we did. It was a quick trip. We went Wednesday to Friday. We ate at Gillies, which is in the movie. Oh my gosh, now I'm completely blanking. Urban Cowboy that my friend told me to watch. Anyway, ate there, and then we did Wizard of Oz at the Sphere during the day.
Nice.
And then went to Def Leppard that night. And that was out of 100 and some bands I've seen play, that was my very first 80s
Oh,
band
yeah.
that was like hair band. I've seen
Uh-huh.
Jackal, and they're like
It's your first
hardcore
hair
rock.
band.
Yes, the
Yeah.
typical like famous 80s hair band. And
Love
they
it.
were fantastic.
Yay. I know
Um,
you weren't like not excited, but you were kind of like, my
Like-
friend wanted to go, I'll go, and blah blah blah. And
yeah.
that's cool that you actually like enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
And I loved it. They did great live, and he came out, and it was a very small venue. It was kind of like a little bit bigger size, like an Orpheum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. Tiered seating and stuff
Mhm.
like that. That was awesome. Upcoming, I don't have tickets to these, but these are 2 that are on my radar. At Stir Cove and Council Bluffs, Yellow Card and Plain White Tees. Those are ones from like my high school days that
My teeth.
I think would be kind of cool. And
Well,
then
I like a couple of their songs.
yeah.
They just seem like they're fun.
Yeah. And then Tim McGraw, that he has been on my bucket list for so long, and he's going to be in Kansas City in August. So I'm like, that to me would be like a great concert for
Yeah.
this year. And so I asked Chris, I'm like, do you want to go to Kansas City for a weekend? And well, when? I'm like, August. He's like, okay, we have some time to think about it. So,
He's like, next week.
so I might think
Yeah.
of it. So yeah, that's about all I have. I do have a couple questions. So Wizard of Oz was awesome.
I want to go so bad.
It was so cool. We were really high up.
We've been trying to find tickets.
It's yeah. And now that people have seen it on TikTok and things like that, it's blowing up. So
Sure.
like the price, oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
I looked at like the VIP because you can do like the Good Witch or the Bad Witch, and like think the Bad Witch is like the full experience. And I was like, well, if you want to sit in like the low, like the main sections
Mhm.
with a normal ticket, it honestly is just like just spend the like $300 and some to get the VIP, because like at that
Mhm.
point, like might as well.
And there's really no bad seats in there. I will say, like, there's 100, 200, 300, and 400 like tiered, and we were up in 400 because those were the cheaper seats. But from the 400s, yes, it's like, holy cow, we're really far up here, but you got to see the entire screen
Oh,
experience.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Like top to bottom. And my other 2 experiences at the Sphere, the first one I was in the 100s, but I was under the awning, so I didn't get to see the roof of the Sphere. And then when I was on the floor with Abby, obviously we weren't going to be like,
Yeah.
this the whole
You're
time.
like-
So we saw here, but we
That's
didn't
cool.
see here. Up when we were up there, we saw literally where it started, which was, if the Sphere's, all the way around, it started about right here and went to about here.
Yeah.
So an entire screen. And they did change the movie a little bit.
I knew they had taken stuff out,
Yep.
and like just probably to make the experience.
Oh, yeah, so,
better,
like,
which
when
totally understand.
Glinda's coming in her bubble, like,
Yeah.
that takes up the entire screen. And Munchkin Land was a little bit different. I think I sent you guys some TikToks and
Mhm.
stuff like
Yes.
that. So
Yeah,
if
you were making me jealous. I'm like, Claire, I want to go.
We get it. We get it.
We get it. You're there.
No, it was
So-
cool. It was cool.
Jordan, I have a question.
Yes.
If you were to pick ruby red slippers or Emerald City, emerald green or ruby red, what would you pick?
such a tough question. Out of those two, like the color?
Yeah, the color.
The color, I'd probably do the Emerald City.
Okay, I'm glad that you asked
Dear. Oh my gosh. That's so cute. Thank
That's
you.
cool.
That
that.
is
It works
that's good.
perfectly because Cass like,
Oh my god, you just gave me one.
yeah,
Whatever.
Effort.
I know. I was texting her about you, and then I'm like,
She was like, "Would you want?" I was like, "I'm okay." Like I.
Thank you.
Aw,
They're so
Claire.
cute.
Like,
I love
you
that.
guys, I'm like, why'd you tell me to close my eyes earlier? But that makes sense.
she knew I got you one. I was like, I'm gonna get them a little tumbler.
Yeah,
I
Claire's
love-
like, I'm gonna let Jordan pick her color. I'm like, that's a good idea. So
They were serving the cocktails in them, and I'm like, I don't want the cocktail. I just want the cup. Can I buy the cup?
The glass.
So I think I have green for myself. I think.
Oh, thank you.
cute. That's so cute.
I got you something else.
Oh gosh.
I'm terrified.
I think I have an idea.
I caught you an apple.
Oh my gosh.
I caught you an apple. I was lying the whole time. We caught apples,
They're
you guys.
foam.
Yeah, because
I
I was
was-
from the ceiling.
Well, yeah, but I
They
wasn't
were
expecting them to
knocking
be
you out.
foam.
So funny. But
Ow.
we're like,
The killer apples.
no, I didn't expect them to be foam either, though. Like,
That's
so
so
cool.
Thank you.
what did you get?
I think we had like 4 or 5 in our row.
Holy
Like they were coming out everywhere.
Oh yeah, they like and I've seen
they
them.
fell-
I've seen them. They
I
just
was I
dropped.
was
I know,
leaning,
but I
I
didn't-
was leaning forward, and it got caught between my back and my seat. So I just pinched myself like this so that nobody keep it. Nobody touch them.
We're gonna go at a tinsel.
And I was like,
situation.
I was like, Chris, do you care about an apple? And he's like, no. So I was like, great.
Chris?
I was like, I caught the girls one.
She went, aw.
I was
Thank
fibbing
you.
the whole time.
I was like, she was texting me. I was like, no, it's fine. And then you're like, well, I should probably give it to my friend. I was like, yeah, I would give it to your friend too. She's actually there. So.
Yeah. So you guys got an apple at Sphere.
Thank you.
I told you I was manifesting that crap.
Give it
If
to
I
me.
send a picture to, I should send a picture to my mom
That is so
once we're
cute.
done and be like, show Aunt Erin this, or my aunt.
If you want green instead, I can switch you my
No, I'm whatever one you want because
Okay.
obviously you were there. So I
color.
that I was not expecting them to be foam either though. Like I thought maybe like
I not
stress
like
ball-y?
yeah,
Yeah.
more stress ball because like that's what they looked like. I like it never looked like it was foam.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So that
cool.
is foam. That's I mean smart idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're dropping that many from a ceiling.
Yeah. And I will say the merch.
It's expensive.
Good bless America. The merch at Backstreet Boys was phenomenal and expensive, but I expect that.
Yeah.
This was on another level.
It's
Didn't you
super
say, like,
expensive.
It was like 60 plus for just a plain t-shirt.
Mhm.
Dude, that's
For a
lot of-
t-shirt.
that's a lot of money. You know what I mean? That's like a lot of money. In some
Yeah,
I
but they
spent
know people.
55 on my one at Backstreet Boys,
But
but
they
I'm
know
like,
people
okay.
will pay for it.
Yeah, but
Especially because the
Oh.
movie has stood the test of time so
Yes.
well that, and with Wicked's resurgence and everything, like
Yeah.
they know people will pay
I think
for
they
it.
had a
I mean, I honestly, if we end up going, I will probably save money to buy something because I'm like, well, I
Yeah.
want to buy something.
they had
but-
cool stuff, and I think they it was either emerald green or ruby red, like sparkly jacket, and it was over $200.
I know. I saw that because I was like, I want that jacket. But yeah, I knew it was like expensive. I was like, I'm not gonna buy that.
Yep.
So I'll look at it.
So anyway, that's me. I can quit yapping now and
That's awesome.
get into cast because we have a lot more to uncover. So
Really quick though, what would you rate Wizard of Oz there? What was the experience?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah. And
I
if
expected it,
if
but
you
yeah.
were to go, I would say pick either section 3 or 400
That's kind of cool.
Duly noted.
because
We'll have
you would
to
get the
talk
best
once we're done
experience.
filming.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
funny. That's awesome.
I love when I do that. I do that all the time. I text somebody like, "What do you think they would like?" And what they're secretly picking out for the other person is what they would like.
That's funny.
So I'd use Cass.
I was honestly, I'm like, they're both like gorgeous.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that's so cute. I might add that to my bookshelf. Honestly, I probably won't even use the cup.
I won't
Yeah.
use the cup. I'll add it to my shelf. Yeah, no.
That's awesome. So nice job, Claire. That
Yeah,
was a fun weekend in Vegas.
it was.
Cool. Alrighty, ladies.
What do we get?
I got a little bit going on here, but we'll see what we got. So I decided, sweat sesh, to look up some popular wellness trends
Mhm.
going around right now.
Okay.
And I did a little bit of research, like some like pros and cons or like what people have been saying about it, and then just I kind of want to get your guys' opinion. So the first one, which we've mentioned before, Claire, and I think you have one, vibration plate.
My grandma does.
Your
Yeah.
grandma does?
Mhm.
Okay. So it's the little plates that you stand and go and it jiggles you everywhere. So I was like, I'm curious because
I've seen a lot of people use them.
Yes, and I was actually more curious as to finding the cons to see if there were any. Because, like when something this big pops up, people don't do their research sometimes and just jump in. So I was totally curious.
Yep.
So the whole point of the vibration plate is it forces your muscles to constantly contract and relax. So that's what like burns the calories and moves your body, because that's what, like, even when I'm moving right now, that's what your muscles are doing.
Right.
Obviously tons of pros. So like boosts blood flow, burns fat, decreases like soreness after like a hard workout, lowers stress hormones. There's been like your like adrenal glands will,
I was just gonna say your lymphatic system, right? It helps with inflammation,
like drainage, and moves things around, because when people don't move a lot, that's when things get backed up, or like your blood's not pumping and your vessel, all that kind of stuff. Moves around oxygen, all that kind of fun stuff. So honestly, cons, they haven't really found any long-term safety risks or anything. Obviously, this just kind of popped up not too long ago. So, but the biggest thing they saw was, I want to say it was like a certain population of, I should have wrote it down because I didn't. It's people that do a certain job that the only thing that they've seen is an increase in lower back pain. But I want to say it was like either like truckers or people that like sit constantly. Ton.
Oh, sure.
So I shouldn't be doing this because I sit all day at my job?
You might actually benefit from it, though. I don't know why it was like, it wasn't necessarily just people that sat. It was like a very specific group of...
Like a job?
Like
a
long distance truckers who drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought that was kind of cool that they hadn't found any cons to it.
Sure.
What are your guys' opinion?
I think it's great. I think my grandma, like, and if you do any sort of workout on it, I've heard it's amplifies it. Even if you're like 10 minutes is going to be more
amplifying.
Yes.
Amplifying.
Thank you. Then, and so I've been eyeing getting one.
Yeah. That's cool.
I mean, even you just stand and vibrate while you're watching TV.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, like you don't have to do anything on it. You can just literally stand.
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to trying it. Like, I've seen it and people said they like it, and I was like, that would be something easy. Yeah, I can sit there and do it while I'm watching my show. So
yeah, I also saw like for older people, they can't do a lot of the, lift movements, and like, even though they say, it's for at home, and it's like, I don't think some of those exercises and movements are enough.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a good like, replacement. So I was kind of hoping to find cons just to see what people were saying, but I'm glad I didn't, because it is a big like trend right now. So
yeah.
Next one I have is cold plunges.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I would do that. With my DNA testing that came back.
Yeah.
One of the things in there is that I have a non-sensitivity to cold, which makes total sense why I can just walk out in a t-shirt in winter.
Yes, it does. You've done that before, and I'm like, what
oh
are
yeah,
you doing?
oh yeah, I'm fine.
That's cool.
I think the cold plunge would probably be beneficial then to me. And we have like 2 of them at my gym.
I would totally use those then. Jordan, no.
You'll never get me to dunk myself in cold water. I'm sorry, that's just not
near.
No. I mean, I don't need water that's scalding hot, but you won't get me into a cold plunge.
That's funny.
So no polar plunges for you in the future?
No.
So pros they found, obviously kind of the same, like reduces muscle soreness, which is huge. So big on recovery. Can help with like pain. That's what icing does to things. Like it reduces inflammation and helps with like pain and stuff. It can do a lot of mental, improves focus, better sleep, boosts metabolism. So all those kind of fun things. Cons, can cause shock, which is like a big thing if people aren't like prepared for it, or high blood pressure and hypothermia. So those are more the extreme. And the high blood pressure is if you probably have like pre-existing issues, or just probably that's just not your thing.
Yeah.
So what they obviously said, consult your doctor before you do something like this, and then build your way up. So it could build you up to it. They said they like do cold water, but not like no ice in it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, then you can maybe add a little ice and just like increase, and then you do like a minute or 2, and then you go up to like 3 minutes, and then 5, and then 7. Like, we might get Jordan in there. Never know.
It's like those cryotherapy things.
Yeah. So I just thought that was kind of cool. Those have been around for a very long time, but I feel like lately I've seen them a lot more on social media. People are building them into like their recovery process and stuff. So I just thought that'd be fun to talk about. Again, this one's probably been around, but is hopping up again. I feel like carnivore diet.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
I followed
only
a girl that
animal
did that.
products, 0 carbs. So
And no really vegetables.
no fruits, no veggies, grains, nuts, or seeds. So it's legit animal
Meat.
products. Yeah, meat, and then certain animal products like eggs,
Cheese
and
sticks.
cheese, certain things. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cons are pretty big. So there's a huge lack of different vitamins and stuff because, again, that's where you get a lot of it from your fruits, veggies, and your fats, your healthy fats. So it's like a lack of vitamin C, folate, dietary fiber, calcium, vitamin B1, potassium, magnesium. It can elevate your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol.
Right.
So when people say they have bad cholesterol issues,
Mm-hmm.
your LDL could be higher, which makes sense. It's can be high in fat because a lot of the time people go for like steak, steak or ground beef because it's easy and whatever. So, and then lots of red meat, which can high in saturated fat and cholesterol intake.
Yeah.
So those are some cons. That's just pros. Significant weight loss. People have seen huge benefits of it because you're right. Protein's huge. Protein is huge. I also think like when it's animal based, like it's usually less processed.
Yes.
So that's also a good pro. They've seen huge reduces in inflammation, which I kind of feel is a double-edged sword because if your cholesterol is going up but you're reducing inflammation, I feel like that's a little backwards, but maybe you see one or the other, I guess. They've seen improved in energy levels and then better blood sugar, which makes sense because of the less carbohydrates and all that kind of jazz. So, what are your guys' thoughts?
I've seen people do it before, and like
Same.
when I see it, like I crave that stuff. Like that's what I crave is
like the
protein
steak with the
and
flaky
meat.
salt.
Oh, yes, I was just gonna say the steak with the flaky sea salt. Like my mouth watering.
Yep.
Yep. But I feel like I would miss, and I'm not like I do like vegetables and fruit, but like the majority of my plate is usually protein anyway. Like I'm more meat based, but
Which is good.
yeah, but not being able to do the fruits and vegetables, ooh, that would be hard.
Well, then you're turning around and your doctors always say the best way to get your vitamins and stuff is through natural whole foods.
Yep, whole foods.
So even I take a multivitamin. They say that usually you lack something or a lot of things anyways, but the best way, even taking a whole multivitamin, my doctor would probably rather me just eat more fruits and veggies. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's one of those like, okay, you're lacking that, so then you're going to have to turn around and take potentially more vitamins and minerals and all this jazz in a pill.
Yep. I don't want to do
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have a...
I probably wouldn't be able to do it. And
that doesn't,
and just because one, I get flavor fatigue so easily. I also don't eat that much protein. I'm really bad about it. I don't like that much meat, which is, I honestly said if I didn't like hamburger and bacon, I could probably just be vegetarian and be fine. I haven't considered going vegetarian. I wanted to like cut it out for a week to see if that was what my stomach was the issue, but I've been fine, so I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm horrible about getting protein in, so like I think if you told me like I had to just eat meat for a week, I'd be like, no. Like I couldn't do it.
Yep.
Like I'd get tired of eating it within 2 days, and then I'd be like, I'm done. Like I don't want to eat any of this.
Yep.
Like, that doesn't sound good.
And I think with the carnivore diet, they also are like very specific on like seasonings and all that different stuff because that is like the whole point of carnivore. Like it's a different version of a whole food diet. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I don't know. I was just curious. I agree. I eat a lot of protein, but I love my like potatoes and I've cut back on rice. But I have a veggie with almost every meal. I love my fruit as well. And there's just some things that like I don't even know if you could eat like cottage cheese.
Yeah.
That I don't think that is
And I love
in the
cottage
carnivore
cheese.
diet. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I think it's strictly like animal products. So
Same with like eggs. Like I get like I had an egg sandwich the other night, and like don't give me an egg for like weeks. Like I don't.
I go through phases.
I
like
get
that
the egg
too.
ache so easily.
I
that
do.
it just-
Yeah, I totally agree on that. So, last one I have is creatine.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of
Creatine
it.
It's usually in a powder form, so you add it to a drink or something. So I've been told, I haven't done much research on it. I've heard great things. I really have, but I kind of looked it up and I was curious. So obviously the pros, like enhances performance, improves recovery, helps with muscle growth, and then like a ton of cognitive like benefits. So less mental fog, just sharper, all that kind of jazz. Biggest thing that I found out, and maybe this was just from where I got this information, they did say it's not FDA approved. So things like that are so
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that too. I thought it was. Your body has creatine. I just don't think we necessarily produce as much as the world says you should have. That I don't know. I have not dove into any of that. So the other big cons that they had is like water retention, so temporary weight gain. So as you start taking creatine, you can see weight gain, or you're not losing as much as maybe you were if you were doing something different. I've seen stomach issues, really bad stomach issues, and then it's really not effective for everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on the type of lifestyle you have. I am assuming it's more for like, not more, but benefits weightlifters and different things like that over someone that maybe just goes and walks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's talking about like.
So I wouldn't benefit from it.
I don't know. I don't really know if you would or not.
Because
honestly.
I would prefer just to go walk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you look at the pros, I'm like, you don't really need enhanced performance on walking.
Right.
I mean, maybe you
I
do.
think I do that okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's some days,
faster.
I do trip over my own feet some days. So maybe
Maybe you'd be more focused.
just once a week.
Performance can mean like, you feel stronger, you feel fuller. You know what I mean? So it's like
it helps me not trip over my own feet.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And like, recovery and stuff, shoot, you can do you can stretch. If you're sore, stretch. You don't need to take like that's such an internal thing, but
It saves money too.
exactly. The biggest thing they said with this one is just watch your dosage and the type of creatine you're taking. Again, I've not dug that far into anything. So I'm just assuming that there's different types, obviously, from different companies, and then you can always too much of anything is bad.
Sure.
So that was just kind of, I don't know what your guys' thoughts on creatine are. Or...
Don't really have one because I've heard mixed things.
Yeah.
So
Same.
I don't really know much about it.
I don't know
Enough
much
about
about
it to have an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lately, people have they know that
I've seen people take it, but
Yeah.
they know I've done like weightlifting and stuff. So they're like, you really should take creatine. I've done it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, supplements are just so scary sometimes because you just don't know.
You never know.
Never know. But
no.
that's what I got. Those are just some basic ones I found. So for our lovely sweat sesh.
Love it.
You guys sweating?
Sweating
Not yet.
I'm always sweating.
from my little walk over here. As you guys were talking, I was starting to already walk.
That's funny. We can move on to our next lovely segment. This one I'm excited for.
I am too. This will be interesting.
Claire, you want to let us know what we're doing next?
Yeah, so like I said, we did segment swap now. So Cass challenged me. She gave me the documentary to watch. I gave Jordan one. Jordan gave Cass one.
Mhm.
So I watched it's a mini series actually. I think there's like 6 or so episodes on Netflix called Unwell. And I watched episode 1, which was about essential oils. So I'm just going to read through some of my notes. Basically, it was about like interviews from people that take essential oils.
Take them?
Yes.
Not use them.
Both.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can
Because you can ingest them.
I didn't know that either for a long time. Pause. I also did not watch this. So I signed this to Claire because I found it and I was like, oh, I feel like she would like this and it'd be good.
Yeah,
So
and I
I'm
use
learning
essential
as
oils.
well.
So I have a whole bathroom shelf as you can see in there.
I did. I was like,
And
those are oils.
And they're in color order, just like my bookshelf.
I didn't look that closely, but now I
They're in
will.
rainbow order.
Spread it on alphabetical
I'm,
order.
at least you're consistent.
Yeah, right.
Consistent.
That I am. So I'm just going to fly through some of these things that I wrote down. Oils have been around for more than 5,000 years, which I thought
That
was
doesn't-
incredible.
that doesn't
But
surprise
it
me.
doesn't surprise me, but I was like, that's a long time.
That is a long time.
So a couple different interviews. There was an integrated nurse clinician. Try to say that 3 times fast. She was working in a hospital and she went patient to patient that had just had surgeries or were recovering or whatever. And the one that she was there with had a spinal fusion. And she offered essential oils for pain and to help relax because he had this surgery and he was so nervous about getting up and walking because of his back had been hurting so bad. And he had this spinal fusion or spinal something. And he's just sitting in this chair and he's like, I have so much anxiety. Like, I don't think I can get up. Like he couldn't. So she put some essential oils on like a cotton ball and just had him smell them and just kind of aromify, like just take them in. And maybe it was the documentary, maybe not, but I mean, I swear by essential oils, so I would agree to the guy. Within about 15-20 minutes, he felt more relaxed and his anxiety was gone and he was able to get up and walk around. And he had been sitting there for quite a while.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, so she let him, and she did a couple like on the cotton, you just dab them on the cotton ball, but the first one that he smelled, he liked it. And the first one, I don't even remember what it was. It was one that was needed for ortho. So it was an oil that worked for that. And
that's
she
cool.
says, your body just told you exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Because he liked the other ones, but he's like, no, I like the first one better. And she goes, well, that one's for ortho.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
Not like orthodontics. Orthopedic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I
Ortho.
knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, no.
Working in a
I'm like,
hospital.
I
I was like, yeah.
keep saying ortho like the orthodontist. No.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I knew what you were talking about because that's what, like, when at work, that's what we call it. We call it ortho. So I'm just like, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So a couple ways to do it is if you're just gonna smell them, like a couple drops on a cotton ball, or putting them on a really hot washcloth, or using them in massage. I get them in massages a lot. Let's see. She said it could be a placebo effect, but so is also pharmaceutical medication, which I agree to. That could be controversial or not, but this woman used oils for her son with autism and saw so many improvements. I don't know exactly which oils she put down. And again, it does say like consult your doctor. So
Yeah.
don't take any of this.
Don't run with it.
An internet blogger, they make 7 figures a year educating people on essential oils
I think that's so cool.
online from their home. Like they have this little like setup and
Claire, your new job.
right.
Honestly.
And they educate and they teach classes, and he said they're all pretty affordable. So like basics, like using it in this, and then it's like, you know, tons of different classes.
Did it say their background or their schooling or just natural research and just like
Just that they felt that they loved essential oils and they wanted to educate people on them.
interesting?
7 figures from home.
That's crazy.
Designing classes. Insane.
Claire's like, sign me up.
Okay, so this was a clinical trial. Okay. A physician talks about a group study that was done, and half of the group took lavender essential oil, and half of the group took lorazepam for anxiety. At the end, both groups reduced their anxiety equally. All groups did not know what they took. So the conclusion was that the essential oils was just as good as lorazepam.
And you're
That's
saying
cool.
like take them as in they ingested them,
Correct.
not just smell them.
Correct.
Obviously,
Yes.
if they didn't know what they took.
Yes. And so she said, okay, well, it does not treat it, but it helps cope with it. So,
When it's a natural
Right.
So, I guess my question, because one's obviously a pill. So did they make?
you can put them in like a gel pill format.
Okay, because
Yes.
I was like, I would think you'd smell it at some point, but if you put it in a pill, like that's
Yeah.
that's why I was. That's why I had. the
I'm pretty
confused look
sure
on my
this,
face.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this group ingested it. But yes, you can,
Well,
because
yeah, it
they
would make
make
sense.
Young Living, the company, for sure. I've owned them. They make ones that are like ones that you can diffuse, and then they have a whole nother line of ones that you can cook with. So like I had orange, lime, lemon, grapefruit, and I put those in my water.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you could do the other ones, but these ones are a little less potent,
Got it.
Makes sense.
essentially.
Makes sense.
So yes, somehow they ingested the lavender. And so did the lavender work more than lorazepam? No, but it worked just as good.
Yep.
So the rest of the entire documentary went into doTERRA versus Young Living and like the pyramid scheme and people being mad about all that stuff. So that part I was like, don't really care about because
pyramid scheme.
it's like you sign up and then you sign your people up and then
Got
they sign people up and then they sign people up. So
Got it.
What is
A
it,
lot-
like an MLM or something?
yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, and how they make money and stuff like that. So that was the majority of it, is people, they're like horror stories from it, which I'm like, leave that out of this. This is just should be educational. So
I kind of
that
agree.
part, and I have a lot of Young Living. I have Plant Therapy and Revive. Those are my 3 brands that I use. So, and I have a lot. So, and I make little concoctions.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's well. Do you put them in your baths? Because I know you take.
No, I don't actually.
No.
I do essential oil like bath bombs.
Oh, cool.
Well,
But I don't have I don't put the oils in the bath.
Yeah.
But I diffuse them quite often.
There you go.
So yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Did you learn anything that you were like, oh my god, like that was crazy, or
no? Just that the surgery thing was really cool.
yeah,
That your body told you exactly what. Because there are days where like I smell an oil and it doesn't smell good to me. And then I might smell it another day and it smells fine.
Yep.
So I feel like it's your body telling you like
that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
what.
It's all in here.
It's all a placebo.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't use essential oils. I've gotten them in massages, stuff like that, or like if you go to get like a pedicure or something, sometimes they do stuff like that too. And I don't have anything against them. I think they're awesome. I've just never gotten into them.
Yep. I mean, it's natural.
I've never have. Will I? Maybe. I don't know. It would depend because I know a lot of the times some of them, depending on the smell, can be like toxic to animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so that makes me nervous.
I think peppermint
is
really bad.
It makes me nervous, so I just would rather just
Not
right now not.
Yeah,
do it
sure.
While I have animals in the house,
Yeah.
I'm like,
or do your probably tons of research before diving into any of that.
Yeah. But
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the other episodes?
Haha.
Did they tell them what they were about?
Yeah.
Guys, I looked it up and I was like, this sounds really good, and I sent it to Claire.
Yeah.
So I did not dive into anything
So
else.
the rest of the episodes, one was about tantric sex, one was about bee sting therapy, which would be interesting. One was about fasting, and one was about bulking up with breast milk. So it was a wide variety
Those
of.
are the most strange.
that's
topics.
very
Yeah.
It's a very wide topic.
I think I'd probably watch. I don't even know if I'd do the bulking up with breast milk, but the bee sting therapy and fasting, like I've done fasting, so
Yeah.
that one to me. But bee sting therapy sounds pretty interesting.
It is so interesting, and we've talked about this before. The health world is such a crazy world because what works for one person
Yes.
will most likely not work for another.
It is not a cookie cutter.
It is insane. So when you watch these things and read about them, and it's pretty much people's opinions and just their experience.
Yep.
So it's very like you got to stay open-minded. You
Yep.
don't want to try it. That's cool, but
Yep.
that's an option. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. Nice. That's awesome. Claire, do you have anything else to add?
No, I would encourage, if you don't know anything about essential oils, to maybe watch it. Or if you do know something about essential oils, watch it. Or just do some research because, I mean, you have to be careful about the ones that you can buy at like TJ Maxx, stuff like that, because they have a lot of additives in it. So you want to try to get ones that are as close to the natural state as possible.
Makes
right?
sense.
So
Like a candle. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
There are essential oils that are toxic because of what we add into them. So
Yeah. That's awesome.
just do your research, but they can be beneficial. Lavender is probably my top favorite
I've heard
essential oil,
that's
and
what I've
pepperment.
heard. Lavender and
Peppermint for headaches.
Yeah,
Mhm.
or like the top two that I've heard for everybody. So
Yep. Jordan, I'm excited because I'm so excited of what I told her to watch.
So Claire picked for me. It's called Simple Plan: The Kids in the Crowd. I will preface this. I knew way more songs by them than I thought.
that's cool.
Like
I
it
was
didn't-
wondering.
I knew some, and we had talked about it once because I was like, I know I talked with someone about it because I saw Big Time Rush last year, and a lot of times they were on a TV. They were a TV show boy band, and a lot of times fans come to their concerts dressed up in like tree hats
Yes.
and
Yes.
Bandana Man and stuff like that. They did not touch on this in the documentary, which was fine. But a lot of people show up in Scooby-Doo
Mhm.
because they wrote the theme song for one of the newer.
What's new, Scooby Doo?
Yeah, so they didn't touch on that, but I
They
did
showed
notice
them
that-
like
they showed
in
them a lot,
line to
but
get into the concert
Yeah.
in their Scooby costumes. But
so I had heard of Simple Plan. I did not know. I knew some songs. I knew like I'm Just a Kid. I knew that one because of the whole trend and everything, and I knew that beforehand. But I didn't know a whole lot about them going into it. So like it starts with like they started in a Montreal basement in 1999. Their members, the original members, I'm going to preface it that way,
Mm-hmm.
is I'm not going to say their last names. They're very
No.
French.
French.
And we learned when I did the Montreal Expos, I cannot pronounce people's names in French. So
Go with the first names. Those are
there's
safe.
Pierre, he's the lead singer.
Whoop, whoop.
Chuck is drums. So anyway, I'll continue with that later. Jeff is the lead guitar. Sebastian is a guitarist, and then there was David, who was the bassist.
Yes.
Pierre starts by saying like he was introduced to California and like pop punk rock by watching skateboarding and snowboarding movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the time that they were growing up in the 90s, pop punk rock scene was very, very big in Montreal. I don't remember the names of a lot of those bands. They threw them out there very quickly that I was like I felt like
Blink 182
was
very popular at that time.
No FX.
Mm-hmm.
There was one on the thing. It kept saying
Revive or
Pennywise,
something like that.
Yeah, there was a lot. I think it was Chuck who said it. He was first really drawn. He always liked music, and he said it. And he goes, "It was so popular that there could be a show every night." And my parents were like, "You're not going.
Mm-hmm.
Like you
Mm-hmm.
just went to a show."
Yep.
But I think it was him who said that he was first really drawn to music the first time he saw NoFX.
Yes.
He was like, he just was really drawn to it. And then one of their teachers suggested that they kind of just started playing. I think Chuck bought a drum set, and I loved his dad. His dad was like, "Oh, he'll be done with it in a week." And
Yeah.
he clearly
Obviously
wasn't.
not.
They're still playing.
They're still playing. But they had a teacher who suggested, "Hey, you guys should create a band, do the talent show at lunchtime." And they're like, "You're right, we should do that." And I guess how I have known music, when I hear their original band was called Reset.
Mm-hmm.
It was Chuck, Pierre, and I think one or two other guys. I don't really think they said who else was in it. They sounded more like metal music to me because they were just screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And Pierre even says that. He goes, "Our first performance was awful."
Yeah.
He's like, I think Talent Show Lunch, first band, Reset. He goes, "We were not great." Pierre's mom, Louise, she was like, he goes, we came off the stage and she's like, "You guys are awful. Like, you're just not good." Because he goes, "My back was turned to the audience." He goes, "I was just screaming. I was jumping around." And he's like, "It wasn't great." Which I'm like, at the time, they're like, "We're amazing, I'm sure."
Yeah.
But like, they can look back at it 25, 26 years later and be like, "That was bad."
Yeah.
Like,
Horrible.
that wasn't a good idea. They ended up going on tour with Snow Jam, which I think was kind of like a Warp tour.
Yeah.
So it's multiple bands.
Pre-Warped tour.
182 was on there. They became very good friends with Mark Hoppus, who, what does he do in Blink 182? Is he just a singer? Because I know Travis plays the drums. I didn't know.
I think he's the guitar player.
He's a guitar player. Okay.
I think so.
He was a big part of the documentary.
Yes.
So I don't know how long they had been touring. I can't remember, but Pierre and I think the guitarist at the time, they ended up having a conversation to want to kick Chuck out of the band. They're like, "He sucks. We don't need him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get him out." And Chuck, this made me really sad. Like, I was like, Chuck was sitting outside of the hotel door and sat there for 45 minutes listening to them have this conversation to make a plan to kick him out. He walked in and he's like, "You don't need to kick me out. I quit." And him and Pierre were best friends. They had grown up together. So he walked out. He quit. And then Jeff was a year older than him and Pierre. And he called to like, he's like, I let him sit for a little bit. And then I called him and was like, "Hey, you want to start a band?" He's like, "No, I don't want anything to do with it." And he kind of just kept bugging him. And he's like, "Yeah, I guess we could start somewhere." But because Chuck was going to law school at the time, because his dad's a lawyer.
Interesting combination.
Yeah.
Well, his dad was a lawyer, and because I think Chuck's dad, and he even says it kind of at the end, Chuck's dad was pushing all of these boys in Simple Plan to like I shouldn't say not to follow their dreams, but he's like, "No, you need that education," because Jeff was at a classical music conservatory, which is pretty good. Sebastian was like, I think he was doing engineering, but I know Chuck was like, I'm gonna quit and do this band, and they're like, no, you're not. Like, you're not doing that. They said for about over 2 years they tried out different singers and nothing felt right. And Jeff was like, he goes, I think in Chuck's mind, he just had to realize that he couldn't be in a band without Pierre. Like, it was always going to go back to Pierre to be their singer. And they did. So yeah, 2 to 3 years. And the first song they wrote was "I'd Do Anything," which I did know that one. I did not know they wrote it, and I didn't realize that was like their first song. I was like, wow,
that's cool.
That's really cool. And Pierre was like, I was driving trucks for my dad, and he goes, I just play it. I think Jeff played like a riff or something for him, and he just listened to it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then he's like, it finally, like, the lyrics started coming, and that's where "I'd Do Anything" came. So he came up with the chorus. I have a lot of notes. One of my favorite people was Patrick. He was their friend and their videographer. So pretty much all the videos they had, from probably until they could hire a professional person to do it, Patrick just taught himself, and he goes, I'm sure you can tell I taught myself. Like, you can tell. But I'm like, they were 20-year-old kids. Yeah, like,
I loved the old videos that they had of them in the basement before they were somebody.
Fun. So he has known them for over 30 years. He's their first friend, a friend of the band, and he goes, I'm pretty sure I was their first employee. Cool. So I was like, that's cool. Other people that they knew, so Eric Lawrence. So Chuck said, he goes, I kept sending demos, and we kept getting rejection letter after rejection letter. Like, yeah, you sound good, but you're not what we're looking for. Like, all that stuff. And so he called. I don't remember what the company was. I would assume it was Sony or someone, because Eric Lawrence, their manager, Chuck called and he's like, oh, I'm their manager, Charles. You should listen to this band. We're a pop punk band or punk rock band or whatever he said. And he did not care about that. He was like, I don't like that music. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't care. But he's like, they're gonna suck. Let's just listen to them. Then we can see, like, oh, you know, and they'll stop bugging us. And they listen to him, and they're like, wow, these guys are actually really good. Like, and he's like, well, where's this manager, Charles? And he, like, raised his hand, and he's like, I figured we'd get more respect if I called as a manager. And Eric's like, I immediately liked him because he was doing what he was doing to get cool. So Sony Canada, they were going to sign them, and then their CEO got fired. A new lady came in and was like, I don't like you. We're not signing you. Oh. So they didn't get signed. And then Patrick got an internship or a job with a different record label, and a guy named Andy Karp from Atlantic Records was flying up to hear a different artist. And they're like, well, let's see if I can, like, trick him into listening to you guys. They did. They signed him, or he signed them, and they got to so he listened to them on February 8th of 2001.
It's crazy.
The next day he signed them.
That's crazy.
So, like, that's kind of nuts. They recorded their debut album. They said it took like over a year to record.
By the way, the name of the debut album,
I have that down.
So funny.
Where is it? Their debut album was called No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls. Because they have other punk rock, pop punk.
Dude.
And Chuck's dad, I think he's like, it was a terrible album name.
All I have to say is the bands that you listen to sometimes, and just in general, the things that people come up with, I'm like, it's the most random shoot stuff. And it works, though.
Yeah.
It does.
Well, so they had other people from different bands, and the one guy, I don't remember what his name was or the band, but he's like, No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls. He goes, that is the worst title of an album I have ever heard. Like, that's awful.
I think it was the lead singer of like the Offspring or something.
I think so. Yeah.
He's
like, it's awful,
horrible.
But they think they re-recorded it like 20 times. It took almost a year to record, or over a year.
Oh my God.
And Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 emailed Chuck. He goes, I've been listening to I'd Do Anything on repeat over and over and over again. It's my favorite song. let me know if there's anything I can do to help. And Chuck, I like that. I love like when you can see when these things were made. He goes, I like conference called everybody and just like read the email. And they ended up, I think, re-recording the song with him. And they did that, and then they had to like go to him because they were busy, and they ended up like they had to go to California to record that. And he goes, they directed me how they wanted me to sing it, and that's what they did.
Yep.
And then to film the video, they had to like fly to like Cleveland, and he's like, well, we got it. Chuck called him and he's like, well, we got everything set up. And he's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, I'm in Cleveland. He's like, Chuck, if Chuck wanted something, Chuck did it. Like he went to go do it. They went on their first tour. See, I missed this the first time I watched it. So it was a college tour with Sugar Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mark McGrath.
Mark McGrath makes me laugh sometimes. He's just an interesting guy.
He is interesting.
So it was 6 weeks. There were 2 legs, 3 weeks and 3 weeks. And they started in Peoria, Illinois.
Yes.
And they were just going to rent a Winnebago and drive themselves. And Pierre's dad, I love Pierre's. I love the parents. The parents that were in there are great. Pierre's dad's like, I can do it. And Pierre's mom's like, no, you can't.
You're not driving the boys.
Drive the boys. It's like, yeah, I will. So they pull up to the border. They pull up to border crossing, and the border patrol guy is like, where are you going? And he goes, we're going. This is like, I love this part. I love Pierre telling this story. He goes, the dad goes, we're going to Peoria. I don't know how to say it. Illinois. And the guy's like, why would you want to do that? And the dad goes, because we're in a rock band. He was so proud. And the border guy was just like, just go. Just go. So
they really could read people. I think
the
they were
dad
like,
was part of the band.
I'm not phased.
and Pierre has said, and I have that down. Pierre's like, my dad is the biggest Simple Plan fan there is.
I
He has
love
a
that
whole
so much.
shrine. He goes, my mom had to stop him from laminating every article that was written about us. Like, I was like, that's really cool. So they went on that tour. During that tour, their record came out. They went to buy it. It wasn't available. It just wasn't out. It wasn't out in stores because they were essentially nobodies other than they were going on tour with Simple Ray. They were like Sugar Ray. They weren't well known, so they had to like work to be popular. And one of the things was they went on the Pop Disaster tour with Blink-182 and Green Day.
Oh my
However,
gosh.
they played in the parking lot.
Yes, they did.
They set up a little stage. They played in the parking lot before you got even into the venue to go see Blink-182 and Green Day. And he goes, I think it was Jeff. He's like, we were walking around with Walkmans and being like, anyone who would listen, be like, listen to this. Like they wanted to sell records. They wanted to work hard. That's one thing you can see about this band is they would do anything to make their dreams come true.
That's the name of their song. I do anything.
Exactly. They were like, we took every opportunity. If someone wanted us to go to Germany, we flew to Germany and we performed there. We did everything. And they were kind of looked at like, to get into the punk rock, pop punk scene, it's based on what people think if your music is punk enough.
Yeah.
Is what they've said. And so a lot of people didn't think they were punk enough. So they were like, we just wanted to make music that we liked. Like, that's what we wanted to do. Because of people, they kept calling them, I think it was art magazine editor or something. They called them GGBB, Good Guys, Bad Band, because they didn't think their music was good. And I'm just like, and an interviewer was asking, like, have you heard that you guys are called GGBB, Good Guys, Bad Band? And I was like sitting there like dumbfounded. I was like, this is an interview. And Pierre's like, well, he goes, you don't like us, do you? And the guy is like, yeah, no, I like you. And he goes, are you sure? Like, it doesn't seem like you do.
Why would you say that? Like,
because he was asking them, like, have you heard that you guys are called this? But I was like, okay. They did the Warp Tour. The Warp Tour found Vans Warp Tour. Maybe
Yes,
rephrase that.
Vans.
It's the Vans Warp Tour. Kevin Lyman was the founder. He was talking, and they had water bottles thrown at them. Like if they thought you were too pop enough, you were bullied, and that's vaguely. If you were vaguely pop at all, you were bullied by the fans.
If you weren't punk enough.
And I think even Sebastian says, he goes, all of these bands, and you choose to come watch the one you hate the most.
Right.
Why? And he's like, I focused on the people in the front row who were actually there to have a good time. And
Isn't
then
that crazy though, the negative energy, the
yeah,
amount of effort people will put out to make that happen. Like, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's a big thing.
So then after that, they kind of had to make a choice. So they were done with the first album, they were done touring, and they were like, I think they were starting making their second album, and they kind of had to make a choice if they wanted to open for Avril Lavigne on her first tour, which was a huge arena tour. It was sold out. Or if they wanted to continue chasing the dream of being on rock radio. And they ultimately decided to go on tour with Avril Lavigne, which I think was a great idea.
I do too as well.
Yeah.
Because Avril was new at that time as well.
So their albums came out at the same time, around the same time, and Avril was in the documentary, and she's like, we were just kids. Like, we were kids, we were hanging out in each other's dressing rooms, drinking beer, eating pizza. Like, we just had so much fun. And they even showed like clips from back then and then clips now of her singing with them, and I'm like, that's really cool that you can have that friendship for so long.
That's really cool,
because they're all Canadian too. So
yep.
So they said 2003 was a very explosive year for Simple Plan. They were on TRL a lot. They were on a lot of night talk shows. They had a very good year. And that was when, around the time Perfect started playing on the radio, which is a really big song for them. And then Welcome to My Life was another song that Pierre is like, that one has really stood the test of time, because you just see because they said something about like, we didn't ever think we'd have people crying at our shows.
Oh,
but
bawling.
A lot of their songs are, they just finally started to be like, we're just gonna make the music we want to make for Simple Plan. And so like, I think that helped. After the third album, they kind of all needed a break. They, like, Jeff even said, he's like, that is my least favorite. I think it was, he's like, I just didn't have a good time doing it. He's like, I just think the album, he was going through a lot of stuff, so he was like, they just kind of needed a break after that. I have the I'm Just a Kid challenge. So that was when, like, what, a year or two ago on TikTok. I remember my favorite video from that is the cast of Cheaper by the Dozen did it.
Yes.
And I love that video.
Yes.
I love those movies. And so they did that, and it's like, oh my God, that's so cute. So like, and it kept, I mean, once you watch a video one time, it pops up all the time. So I love that trend. And he even says, they said it's like having a hit song 20 years later again.
Yes.
So like,
it's still playing.
It resurges, and
TikTok
he's
literally
like,
saves, I think.
and that's
oh
what
gosh,
he goes that's the greatest gift social media could have given us.
Yes.
But with that happening, Chuck was really a driving, like, he's like the main operation, I think.
Yes.
Him and Pierre, yes, but Chuck is the one who drives everything. And he's like, Pierre is like, once he figured out what social media could do for us, it was down, like, not downhill, but like
full steam ahead.
Posting a lot and everything like that. So this song Saved My Life was, oh nope, I'm sorry. Chuck did say that Pierre and him ran for president and vice president when they were in school together, and they won.
Yeah.
Pierre was president, Chuck was vice president. He goes, I think that just shows, like, we can work together and how we have worked together. And they even said that they think, even though they were in a band again together, that the kicking him out of the first band, like, that always stuck around. But they fought, but they were still brothers, like, all that. This song Save My Life was written with the help of fans, so they kind of
yes.
sent out a mass thing, like,
tell us what our music means to you.
Tell us what it means to you. And he's like, that's one of the best songs we've written because we got to write it with the help of fans. So, which goes into, they opened a P.O. box, and I think Chuck's dad was in charge of it, from how kind of the documentary went. And he goes, sometimes you just get these letters, and they're just sad letters. And he goes, that's what helped us start the Simple Plan Foundation. And I want to say, I don't know I couldn't hear what the award was, but like kind of like a humanitarian award. They won an award back in like 2012, I think,
That's cool.
for their foundation. And I was like, you don't hear that a lot. Like, sure, they donate, but you don't hear a band creating a charity, which is cool.
Yep.
I loved, I think Chuck said it. He goes, we were the kids in the crowd and we got on stage. And I was like, I love that. Like, I love that you brought that back. And then fast forward to 2020. I think they had made their 5th album, or it had been out or whatnot. 2020 happened. I was very confused. I was like, okay, well, I see 5 members, but only 4 have been talking. And I obviously didn't know much about it. So their bassist, David, so Chuck had called, I think, Eric, their manager, and he's like, I want you to know, I think there's something going on with David. There's some allegations going on. That's all they really said. And they decided it was best that he take a step back from the band. So he is no longer part of the band as far as I've seen. It's just the 4. Correct?
Yes, that's how, when I went to the show, yes, there was only
Do you know
4.
what happened?
I don't.
They
I
never
didn't look it up either.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And they didn't say in the documentary.
It just
obviously.
said allegations.
It said
gosh.
allegations. I mean, I looked it up because I wanted to know his name, like his full name, because I was like, they just kept saying David. So like they did talk about him through the thing, but other than he was just part of the band.
That's crazy.
Yes, that's the biggest crisis they've had to face, because Jeff even said, he goes, I've spent pretty much my adult life 20 years touring with this guy, and he goes, that all this happening, it comes with hurt, like, because I mean, depending on what allegations and everything, like that's painful, like you've known this person your whole life. So
Yeah. Must have been bad.
and it made them want to, and they said they like after that it made us want to be the best that we could be for everyone, and that we were a safe space.
Yeah.
So it's like, I like that. Pierre's dad, and then yeah, Perfect, one of the most important songs they've ever written. I loved, so it started, because it kind of started and ended the same way. So it ended with them singing Perfect, but then as the video is going on, it's back when they're in the basement, because they wrote the song pretty much from the beginning. 1999, probably 2000. But I love that it was showing them playing, because that's where they started. They started playing in Chuck's parents' basement. So I love that it went back around to Perfect being the song, and then the
Full circle.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's really cool.
I said, I was like, I did cry through this. Well, not the whole thing, but I did cry, because I mean, I'm an emotional person. It was Chuck cried. When Chuck cried, I cried.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I even said, I was like, I feel like I would go watch them. One, I knew way more songs than I thought, but
They're
I was
great.
like, this made me be like, yeah, I would go see them in concert.
They're
That would
great
be fun.
live.
So
I think that's what's cool about documentaries, that it like reopens. It gives them also like social media. It gives them a second chance, and then people who get told to watch it, and then you're like, crap, I might put this on my playlist. I might listen to their music.
yeah, I mean, I knew their songs. I don't have a lot on my playlist. I probably will put them on. I just
see?
haven't.
And the Kids in the Crowd is actually one of their newest songs.
Oh, that's cool.
So, at the I just went like last summer, I think they were at Stir Cove, and that's the song they're talking about is Isn't It Crazy, 25 years later, starting in our parents' basement, singing every song so loud. Like, those are the lyrics, and it's so great. Like, I just feel like they're all just down to earth, like, good
they're
guys.
very good people.
They're very good humans, and like, they just seem super chill.
Yeah. So pretty much the documentary was just like
How they made it.
chaos of their journey, because it literally sounds like it was.
And I mean, it was dudes in their 20s touring, and like and then it's like they're like, we're now at the age, we're husbands and we're dads, like we don't want to go tour all the time because we want to be home, because I like I don't remember who he goes, when we're home, we're stay-at-home dads, like we're stay-at-home dads, but when we're touring it's different. And it was really good. I enjoyed it.
What would you rate it?
Are we doing 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5? Because I would
10
out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like that, because I wanted to pick one that, like, for a band that I didn't think that you would typically listen to.
Yeah, that's cool.
Put you out of your comfort zone.
I had heard of them
and to learn more.
I had heard songs from them. If you would have asked me a single one of their names, I would not have known it before this. but I mean, I had heard of them.
They're
pretty
good
much it.
lyricists. They
Yes.
and
Yeah.
they
I did like that Chuck has a lyric book and he just like starts writing things down, and that's where Pierre kind of comes in and just takes it, and like that's Welcome to My Life was one of them
That's
that they
cool.
said like he just kind of takes it and go.
they're
I
good.
think it's cool that that's how it works. You know,
Yes.
like
Yeah, they have a really good
they have like
yeah,
different steps.
they
to
have
it,
a good partnership, so I think
That's
it
awesome.
was really good.
That sounded really good.
Yeah.
Good job, Claire.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay.
Very excited for this too.
Miracle, The Boys of 80. So this is the
I picked this for her.
one Jordan picked for me. It was kind of funny. A couple episodes ago, you actually
Our last episode we talked about it, yeah.
was it last episode? Already?
Yeah, with the movies, yeah.
Yep. So it was, with the movies, yeah. So this was really cool. So obviously it was a documentary. So it was like they literally brought in most of the team. Obviously, if you had passed away. So they literally, I think, brought in everybody that was still around, which was super cool. So again, going back on it, it is when the USA beat the Russians for the first time in
years,
40 plus years, I think, at the time. Ish. I should have written down the years.
I can't remember.
It was a long freaking time. So, apparently, prior to 1980, hockey was a niche sport in the U.S.
Yeah.
So that's when it like blew up. So that was really cool to learn too. So what they did is they obviously brought in the players on the team that are still around, and they pretty much talked through the entire process of how they got recruited, what practices looked like, what the step-by-step, all the days of the, leading up to the Olympics, during the Olympics, just all the different things. And it was really cool. Prior to 1980, the U.S. literally was almost not winning like at all. Like they were complete trash. So I thought that was just, and then when you look now with the Olympics going on and everything, and all that kind of stuff, it's really kind of funny. Herb Brooks was the head coach. So he, prior to coaching the USA team, he was the Minnesota hockey coach. They did not like him. It was not like we're besties. He was like a dad figure to us.
Okay.
Heck no.
Common enemy.
Literally.
The players didn't like the coach.
Yep.
Correct. Wow.
So, as Jordan had mentioned in a previous episode, it was Boston and Minnesota. A lot of the previous college players were from those teams that were big rivals.
Okay.
So, even the Minnesota boys didn't love her.
Well, because they had most of them had been coached by him for 4 years already.
So they knew all the ins and outs. They knew what kind of person he was, like personality wise, like blah blah blah. So that was super interesting to hear about. They were so honest. They were so honest about how they felt then, how they feel now, things that were said. Like it was crazy. I was like, that's not what you usually hear. Usually the coach is like, has everyone together and he's the goat. Like
I'm trying to figure out how to word this. So the goalie, he said in something else, because they're like, well, was his plan like, if you hate me, like you won't hate each other, like it'll be like a common enemy, which I think totally like from the documentary and like the movie watching, that was Herb's plan was, okay, well if they can all hate me, then they'll work better as a team.
Yep. I also think it was literally though just the type of guy he was.
Okay.
Because even as a Minnesota coach, like those boys did not have nice things to say about him, even though they were all on the same team and it wasn't a bunch of different college boys playing on the same, because that's hard. I mean, think about it. Playing with like your rivals and two just other players, other people on different teams, all that kind of stuff.
And I don't know if you had that because like his kids were in the movie too. But the son was like, I also watched this.
Yeah,
I watched it. The son was like, you guys had to deal with that for 6 months. Try 20 years.
I have a comment about that.
Take a number.
I have a comment about that. So, it was interesting. So actually, no, it's a lie. So they had a rule if you played NHL, you couldn't play on the Olympic team.
If you were
wow.
Yeah.
So it was all
they were amateurs.
Oh.
So what happened was obviously the US team followed the rules. They were all amateurs. The Russians obviously were not, and they would put their team down, their players as like a student or in the army, like, and would give them occupations that weren't true. They were actually like professional hockey players. And they didn't dive into, there wasn't any like background checks or no like investigations or any of that. Like
It was 1980.
exactly.
They didn't care.
Right.
They did not question it. So obviously they did tryouts, and Herb picked 26 players, but the Olympic team was only 20. So for like the 6 months leading up to, or the 3, 4, however many months leading up to the Olympics, there was 26 players fighting for 20 spots.
Wow. Holy cow.
It was insane. They went watching the games back because they like did little glimpses of each of the games that they played with the teams leading up to the Russians. So they actually didn't play the Russians in the final gold medal game. It was the game to get to the championship game. So that was also interesting too. But
right, you watch it and you're like, this is the gold medal game, and you're like, it's not.
It's not. It was to get to the gold medal game. So that was I was like,
it was in the medal round.
And no offense, not like this is the story, so they can't like make it up. But then it made the last game like that being the big blow up, and then you're like, crap, you got one more effing game, like
right,
whatever. So, but yeah, it was interesting to see little clips and hear the opinions of the players from the games leading up to it. It was chaos. Like it was actually chaos. Like it didn't go like they didn't beat everybody 4-0. Like the first game they tied. I'm pretty sure.
They tied Sweden.
So they tied, and they had to because otherwise that literally would have been their like point of not being able to get a medal.
They had to win every other game.
Yep. So they tied the first game, and then Herb even said he's like, I'm not expecting the gold. He's like, I don't even think they were expecting to place. They weren't. Everyone assumed they wouldn't.
No one was. I think they were expecting them like 7th or 8th.
Yes.
I think what it said. Yeah.
It was like really So it was just insane. Walking through the days, the whole process was chaos. All the games were chaos. They were winning, but it wasn't like insane, and things just got more exciting. You could literally see, because they had footage, obviously, you could literally see the difference between the Russian players and the USA players. The USA players, they looked like college kids. And the USA or the Russians literally looked
they were
like
huge.
That's insane that you can't take an NHL player.
And then
I'll tell you something about that once she's done.
Yes. Who did they play in the championship game? Finland? Anyways, in the actual gold medal game, they were down in the first half. Had to come back, fight, do all this stuff. They ended up winning gold, obviously, so that was really cool. At the time,
I just had a question. Did you realize they came from behind every single game in the Olympics?
Yep. That's what I say. It was a crap show. It literally was a crap show the whole time. They were down. Like, it's not like they were playing their best, whatever. Leading up to the 6 months in their training, Herb had them do...
Yes, Finland,
I was right. Had pretty much do a hockey version of suicides, so where you're like running like down and back or whatever. He literally wanted them to be the best conditioned team in the Olympics, and that's literally what got them through playing the Russians. Because they were so
physical.
The Russians game was so aggressive. Again, going back to it though, it was crazy that none of them had anything nice to say about Herb. They finally did have a common ground of like being on a team, but even the players weren't like, oh my gosh, we were best friends, and they all stay in touch and everything, but it was just such a different vibe than what I thought it was going to be. And not in a bad way. It was different. Going back to his daughter and his son, same thing. Like, people didn't love Herb, and I just thought that was the big, like, even his son, you could just tell, yep, it was like this, and yep, yeah, he would act like that, and when games were happening, like he was just so not negative, but not like, oh my god, I love my dad, and he was my best friend, and we're so proud of him. Like,
that's crazy.
It was crazy. Things I loved, they had a lot of footage, obviously, of the games. During the time, there was a lot of war going on, so
Cold War was huge.
This was just the saving grace for the U.S. and all of that. Like, it just gave everybody a little more, like, love and camaraderie and all that kind of stuff, too. So that was really cool. It was really easy to follow along the whole, like, episode, or the whole show was. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah. Herb actually got cut the day before.
This makes me so sad.
Yeah, the Olympics.
What?
When he played.
When he played.
Oh, when he was a player.
In 1960, I think is what it was. Yes,
he got cut the day before they were to leave for the Olympics. When he was a coach, one of the they had I don't remember his name, but one of the
Ralph
players.
Cox.
There you go. He had to do the exact same thing, and that was the only time that they've ever seen Herb or heard of him being
have
like
emotion.
so emotional about it because he had to cut him like the day before the day of. It was literally the day of that they were leaving.
They
were like,
yeah,
"Hey,
they were getting ready.
you need to go talk to coach."
Oh,
I hate that part in the movie. So watching it in the documentary, and
He was on there, so
because he was on there, and I'm just like, ugh, the heartbreak. And I mean, obviously they knew it was coming, but like,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that they said that that's when Herb showed emotion because Herb had been through that, and then a week later because that was the last time they had won a gold medal too. I think he had to
Yes.
watch his team with
Go
his
and
dad
without
sitting on a couch winning the
So
gold
there you
medal.
go. It was 20 years before
I
they
think
had
it was
won.
20. Yeah.
Like, yeah. So that was really crazy. There was the best goalie in the country.
In the world.
In the world.
In the world.
Wait, no, not the Russian one, the USA one.
Oh, Jim Craig.
Yes.
Yes.
He was that the one that played? I'm talking about the one that didn't play.
That's Janusek. So Jim Craig was the one who played. Janusek was the one who played for Herb at Minnesota and won him a championship.
The Minnesota
I love his story.
Yes. It was so sad though. The Minnesota goalie obviously thought he was going to play when he got brought up to the team.
Okay.
Didn't see a second of ice. And so it was one of those things that like it was a silent communication between him and Herb like you had to be the bench player. You had to be the one that kept attitude up and you were a cheerleader for everybody. And it was just crazy to see all of the
I think he was also the only player on the team who did not see a single minute of playtime in the Olympics, at all. He did not get on the ice.
And he won multiple championships
for Herb. Yeah.
Herb. So that was really crazy too. But,
that's crazy.
Overall, I thought it was great. Those are always really cool to see.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
How much did you cry during the documentary? Did you cry at all?
I did not cry at all. But I did actually. I was like, oh my God. Like, and seeing men tear up, it gets you. Like,
oh yeah.
I watched it later at night, so I was a little more tired. But no, I did. I could have seen like multiple situations where either you teared up or just people.
Oh, I cried through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I cried. Like, this kind of stuff gets me. I love the movie.
Yes.
I do think you'd enjoy this.
You would.
I would, if you've seen the movie, I would watch both.
Yeah.
Because watching it, I'm just like, because one of my favorite, Mike Ruzioni, he was the captain. I love his story because he was not the best player on the ice.
No.
But he was the best leader.
Yep.
And he proved that.
Yep.
And like, I think he scored a goal in the game against the Soviet Union. So it's like, it's just seeing the people, like these underdogs, get their win, and it's just like amazing. And like, I'm gonna cry now talking about it. Like,
it gave me goosebumps. Like, even when they actually finally won the gold, mind you, that game was a lot less like it wasn't a last second shot kind of thing. Like they were
right.
Up,
4-2. They won
4-2 at that point. So it wasn't like a last second goal that made him win. Like obviously the Russian game was a lot more like, but every time they won, it gave you goosebumps.
Well, and so with the Russians, they had played the Russians like a week or two beforehand.
Okay.
And they lost 10 to 2.
Yes.
Yikes.
They were destroyed.
Yeah.
And so it was, it's just amazing watching.
It gave me goosebumps. I'm a very competitive person too, so it was really cool to see everything and but no, it was good.
Yeah.
I'd rate it like a 9. Like, it wasn't the best. It was great. It was 9 or a 10. Like,
I love
it was
that.
really good.
I might have to watch that then.
It was good.
And I love the end when they're walking through Lake Placid, because it was Lake Placid, New York. It's a very small community. So the fact that the Olympics were there, it was huge. Like most of the bobsledding, the luge, that was all outside. Like it wasn't in something.
A building.
And so them walking down and like all the people on the street are like, you don't know what you did for our country. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's nuts just seeing these people. Random people.
That know.
Like, in current time, just being like,
you saved our country.
Yeah.
Like,
or
do you
know what you did for us to believe?
Oh.
Yeah.
I would highly suggest watching it. It was, I mean,
it gives me all the
again,
feels.
I love it. And I love hearing their stories, like Jim Craig's story, Janusek's story about he didn't play in the Olympics, but there was an interpreter and he met her and they got married and they've been together ever since.
Yep.
So like,
you
got a gold medal and you got a wife. Like, good dude. Like, I know you didn't play, but like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like,
that was really cool. And just hearing their backstories and like their families and like, one had a mom that passed away, so his dad.
Jim Craig's story gets me every time. He's the goalie.
That was insane.
Don't spoil it if I'm gonna watch it.
I won't. I was just saying, Julian Edelman, who played for the Patriots, he has a podcast and it's called Games and Names or something like that. And I was watching it last night actually. And Jim Craig was on it and he was talking about this and he's like, how often do you get asked about it? He goes, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
As you should, because that's insane. Like,
Mike Ruzioni did an interview where he's talked to the USA hockey team and he's like, guys, go win a gold so we can stop asking people stop asking us questions. So
that's funny.
Have they not won?
They have not won gold since 1980. So that's why 46 years.
That's why huge tomorrow is tomorrow.
That's why the gold medal match. Yeah.
Dang.
Woo.
USA.
Woo.
USA. Love that. So yeah, it was great. You guys got any recommendations on?
Yeah.
I love documentaries
Yes.
or docuseries.
Talk like our segments or just in general.
Mm-hmm.
We're cool with that. So
I love watching
Yeah.
stuff that's informational and
Yeah. we learn a lot.
Yep.
We're very diverse. So
I love it.
Anyone
good.
have any other thoughts before we wrap up?
no, it's good.
Yeah.
A lot we unpacked.
Mhm.
There are a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we want to again remind you, April 15th will now be our book talk episode. We are reading If You Stayed by Brittany Cherry. It's on Kindle Unlimited. There's that. And then our next episode will be March 18th. We just have some bookish updates and life goal, year goal updates. I don't know how I wanted to word that. So that'll work.
Goals.
That'll work. Remember, go follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We'll be hopefully posting a little bit more on there. I'll hope sports updates more and whatnot. But usernames will be below as always, and we will see you in the next chapter.
Bye.
Bye.
That was fat.